So to start things off with, we have our 1/4 inch acrylic all set up on our laser. Now what we're going to do, we're going to end up cutting out the white layer and then our base black layer. I already have the white in stock. I'm waiting for the truck to run to have the black, but instead of just sitting idle waiting for that black to show up, we're going on and get this cut out right now. Now on this initial cut, it's going to be running right about an hour on this, just because we're going to end up doing 2 passes at a lower wattage just to take care of our laser lens, because I don't want to go through the headache again of trying to find another lens. Luckily, I did end up finding a company that I was able to get them from, because not so good luck with the company this laser came from. This laser was down for a little while, but that's a whole nother story. Let's go do this thing. We'll check back in with you in a few minutes. All right, now that we got this all cut out, pulled off the machine, I meant to show y'all before I pulled it off, but got distracted, didn't think about it. Now with this, we are going to save this and use this as a template. Now, I did go, even though this right here is going to be a different color, I did cut this out so I know exactly where to place my letters on here, and it'll save us a lot of headache in the long run, because everything's gonna be lined up. It's no second guess and not sitting having to measure. And we already had that, so might as well. Took a whole extra 5 minutes to cut that out, but will save us a lot of time in the long haul. And this is cut exactly to the T of what our black piece will be as well, so that'll make it even easier to line up. Now we just need that truck to show up so we get the black on here and get it all cut out. All right, y'all, for this second sound we got for y'all, we got a big old 5x10 sheet of acrylic. Now this one actually right here is going to be a backlit sign. So we got special material just for that, but I don't need a big 4 foot by 10 foot. So we're going to chop this down, because all we need is 20 inches by 10 foot. All right, now that we have this sheet all cut down to the size we need, the next thing we got to do is remove this plastic covering that is on here. All right, now we got our film off. The next thing we need is to get our decal all lined up on here. Now what I have here is a vinyl that is meant for backlit signs. So like I said, this does require a special type of vinyl for this, but at night you'll be able to have some lights behind this to let your full image shine through. Now like I said, this image is a fairly basic image, but simplicity sells when you're trying to draw stuff to your business. You just want something that stands out, and this right here should do the job. I'm gonna get this all lined up, squared off to make sure everything's good and lined up, and then it's time to start laying this out. All right, so what I'm doing here, I have everything lined up. I got tape on this to help hold stuff down. So essentially what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna peel this back, remove this backing, I'm gonna bring it back to almost that tape area. Cut that off, and then I'll start squeegeeing this into place. Now this is an air release vinyl, so if we do get a few small bubbles in there, I can get them out fairly easy. But also this is gonna be quite a few foot in the air, so it probably will never be noticed as well if there are any bubbles in there. So, but that's the hard part. Now what I'll do, I'll end up rolling this up, and I'll put some little marks and stuff on here to help keep my alignment, just as I'm going to make sure everything's good. But let me show you how I'm gonna do that. Now, so what I went on doing, I ended up putting a piece of tape down at that end. I have this part of the vinyl backing folded underneath. Now what that's going to allow me to do, as I'm slowly working this, I can pull this vinyl out. Now I do recommend using a felt squeegee on this. Apparently I misplaced all my felt squeegees, so I will be using a little terry cloth on here. And that's just to help prevent scratches or scuffs. Just take your time with it, because you want to get as few bubbles as possible in here. Like I said, this, even though this is an air release, it can still get some bubbles that you have to pop out. Just take your time. And would you look at that? We have 20 inches tall, 10 foot long marquee sign for Whiskey J's. Used to be Texas Players, if you're familiar with Longview. But everything came out nice and clean. And the sign is able to be backlit. Only thing now is to do is get it installed. It's not a good pull. Sometimes it doesn't work like it should. There we go. All right, so what I have here, I have everything set up on here. So I'm using the original cutout with the white for a template to make sure everything's lined up good. I have my black all down underneath here. I got it placed exactly how I want it on this board, and that way I come through and glue and set my letters exactly where I want them. That way I know everything's good and in place exactly where it should be. I'm gonna get to work on this and show you how everything looks. Now on this, I'm not doing this all at once. I am actually going to pull this off and double check my glue to make sure everything doesn't seep through. I don't want to accidentally glue my letters together because this glue I am using, if it seeps out a little bit, it will. And then that's a huge fun mistake to try to fix. So I'm going to pull this and then we'll come back and do the last little bit here in just a few minutes. Now it was trying to stick on that K, and if I would have let this sit here and fully cured on there, there's a chance I would have had to start all the way back over. And that's why I do stuff in stages like this. Now there are other ways to do this, but with this being outside, I didn't want to just use the glue that was, the glue sheets that are stuck on here, because in this Texas heat, I have found issues with that wanting to melt off. And with this right here, we're essentially melting the acrylics to stay together, where if it's glue on there in this Texas heat, once it hits that 110 degrees, I have seen it where them letters have fell off. So that's why I do it like this. If I was doing it inside, I would have had a glue board on the back of this, and heck, it would have been quick and easy and done in just a few minutes, where this I'm gonna have to wait so long in between each layer. And there we have it, another sign up and ready to go outside and be installed. Now, I do know the J and the S are supposed to be green. I'm waiting for my green material to come through, so actually I'm going to end up stacking that green on top of that white. Just due to the fact I can't get that green in. It was supposed to have already been here, and I'm not quite sure why it hasn't came in yet. But I just know I wanted to get these signs up and installed. That way they can start getting customers there, and it's nothing for me to go and put that green on there after I get it in. Now, as you saw, these signs, both of them were fairly easy to make for the most part. Like I said, the small stuff on that can be a little tedious, but that's just part of it. And there are other ways to do this. You don't have to do them the same way I do. That's just what I do. I've never had any failures with me gluing these on like I did here in the Texas heat. And like I said, they are hard to pull apart. I did end up having to recut a few small little things on there just because when I was gluing them together, I ended up gluing them to my board and they would not release, and they ended up breaking while I was trying to get them off that board because it cures fairly quick. Like I said, I did a few times have to put something to hold the little things down just why it cured. But like I said, the glue I use dries extremely quick, and now all my fingertips have glue on them, but that's part of it. I want to go get these signs installed. I don't know if I'll be able to film or not out there. I'm going to try to if I can. If not, I'll get you some pictures of the outcome once it's all said and done, or if they're even ready for us to go up yet, because TABC is a little funny around here. I worked in bars for many years back in my early 20s, so I know they can be a little picky on when you can do stuff and start advertising all that stuff. But hopefully there's some B-roll or something me installing the signs or just pictures of it finished. If not, y'all take it easy. Now, as you see, we have them all installed. That one. And that one. We still got the grain to go back and put in on that, but as soon as I get it in, I'm gonna come up here and put that on there.